Hello, and thank you for tuning in. If you're here, it's because you're meant to hear this message. This moment is no accident. Just as everything in the universe unfolds with purpose, so too has this message found its way to you. It's no coincidence that you're facing the struggles you're experiencing. Perhaps this is the turning point you've been waiting for. We all go through seasons of hardship, times of brokenness, before reaching our breakthrough. The darkest part of the night, when the world feels like it's falling apart, is often just before the sun rises. You might be closer to your breakthrough than you think. Sometimes it's hidden like treasure buried under a heap of doubt, fear, and uncertainty. Stick with me, and you'll discover that what you're about to hear could very well be the catalyst for the transformation you need. To understand this season of brokenness, we must first grasp what it truly is. It's not just a rough patch or a series of unfortunate events. It's a sacred, refining process. Think of it like gold being purified in fire. Just as gold must be exposed to intense heat to remove impurities, God uses our hardest moments to purify us, to remove what doesn't serve us, and to mold us into the best version of ourselves. It's in these moments that we are shaped and reshaped, refined to become who we are truly meant to be. During these seasons, the heart becomes softer, the mind more open, and the layers of our old selves, those habits and patterns we've clung to for far too long, are gently peeled away. It's not about enduring pain for its own sake, but about allowing ourselves to be transformed through it. God isn't just taking things away from us without reason. He's making room for something better, something more aligned with His plan for our lives. As you walk through this season of brokenness, remember that you are never alone. Even in the depths of pain, God's love never leaves us. His kindness, when it flows through us, becomes the light that shines brightly for the world to see. Though this journey may not always be easy, each step you take in faith brings you closer to your true self. Even in the hardest times, the kindness you extend, the love you give, and the faith you maintain become your most powerful gifts to others. There is a deceptive voice that whispers during our darkest times, a voice of doubt. It tells us we are forgotten, that we are unworthy, and that our struggles mean God has abandoned us. This is a lie, one of the enemy's oldest tricks, designed to isolate us and make us feel defeated. But it's in these very struggles that God's presence is often most evident. Our trials are not evidence of God's absence. Rather, they are proof of His active presence in our lives, preparing us for something greater. Remember the words from the book of John. In this world you will have trouble, but take heart, I have overcome the world. This isn't a promise of a pain-free life, but a reminder that no trouble is too big for God. He has already overcome the world, and because of that, we can face anything. Just as a gardener prunes a plant to help it grow, God uses our struggles to clear away what hinders our growth, making space for new opportunities, new beginnings, and new blessings. Every trial we face is purposeful. Romans 8:28 reminds us that all things work together for good for those who love God, for those who are called according to His purpose. Your struggles are not random. They are all part of the grand design, each one shaping you into a vessel that reflects God's light in the world. Embracing the pruning process can be difficult. It can feel like we're losing something precious, when, in fact, God is simply clearing the way for something even better. The process of pruning, of cutting away what no longer serves us, is uncomfortable, but it is necessary for growth. Just as branches must be pruned to produce more fruit, our lives too need certain things removed to make way for something more abundant. In John 15:2, Jesus explains that every branch in him that does not bear fruit will be taken away, and those that do bear fruit will be pruned to bear even more. This isn't about punishment, it's about preparation. God knows exactly what needs to be removed from our lives so we can grow in wisdom, strength, and spiritual maturity. Sometimes, the very things we cling to are holding us back from the blessings God has in store for us. Whether it's outdated mindsets, unhealthy habits, or relationships that no longer align with our purpose, God is calling us to let go. The things we feel we're losing today may be preventing us from stepping into the future He has planned for us. Trust the process. Trust that God knows what He's doing, and know that each cut is making room for new growth. Learning to suffer well is another essential part of the journey. In a world that tells us to avoid pain at all costs, there is power in enduring hardship with grace. To suffer well doesn't mean pretending everything is fine. It means holding on to your faith even when life seems darkest. It means continuing to trust in God's goodness, even when the situation doesn't make sense. Jesus is the ultimate example of how to suffer with purpose. He didn't ask to be spared from pain. Instead, He asked that God's will be done. Through His endurance, we see the model for facing our own trials with unwavering faith. The key to enduring suffering well is knowing that your pain is never wasted. God can take your deepest struggles, your greatest fears, and turn them into testimonies of His love and power. Don't let the season of brokenness pass you by without drawing closer to God. Let it strengthen your faith, refine your character, and deepen your relationship with Him. When we praise God in the midst of hardship, our worship becomes more than just words. It becomes an act of faith, a declaration that says, "God, I trust you, even now." Finding strength in the valley is possible, but it requires a shift in perspective. Instead of viewing hardship as something to avoid, we can begin to see it as an opportunity to draw nearer to the one who understands our pain like no one else. When we look back on our lives, we often find that the times when we felt the weakest were the times when God was most present, working in us and through us to build something greater. The strength we find in the valley becomes the foundation for the blessings that await us on the mountaintop. It is in these valleys that we are reminded that God is always with us, leading us through the toughest moments of life, shaping us into the people we were always meant to become. Stay strong, stay faithful, and remember that your breakthrough may be closer than you think. When we find ourselves in the midst of our most challenging seasons, it's easy to feel lost, overwhelmed by the weight of it all. However, these valleys, these moments of deep struggle, are often where we uncover our greatest strength. Instead of viewing your pain as something to be avoided, consider it a calling from God to draw closer to Him. Just as a seed must break open before it can sprout and grow, our struggles can sometimes crack us open, allowing us to reach deeper into our purpose and untapped potential. It's often in these low points that we discover the depths of our resilience and experience the full beauty of God's grace. Although it may feel as though you are in a place of defeat, understand that your valley is not your end. It is fertile ground for new beginnings. This is not a time of abandonment, but of preparation. God is not leaving you to face these challenges alone. He is walking with you through each trial, using every moment to shape you into the person you're meant to become. Take the story of Joseph as a powerful reminder that our trials can serve as stepping stones toward our destiny. Betrayed by his brothers, sold into slavery, and unjustly imprisoned, Joseph's darkest hours were all part of God's perfect plan to elevate him to a position of influence and purpose. Joseph's journey wasn't without heartache or struggle, but God used every hardship to position him for greater things. Your story, too, is unfolding in the same hands that guided Joseph, shaping your path in ways you may not even fully understand right now. Trust that the pain you're experiencing today will, in time, give way to a future filled with God's promises of growth, transformation, and fruitfulness. Every season of brokenness has its own purpose. After the refining comes a season of fruitfulness. The trials you're facing now are paving the way for blessings beyond what you can even imagine. Look at how Joseph, after all his suffering, was summoned from prison to stand before Pharaoh. He was placed second in command over all of Egypt. His suffering, which once felt endless, culminated in a single moment that changed the trajectory of his life forever. He was elevated from the pit to the palace. His story vividly illustrates that God uses our lowest moments to prepare us for the greatest opportunities ahead. Much like Joseph, your struggles today are not without reason. They are refining you, preparing you for the extraordinary future God has set before you. In Genesis 41:41-42, Pharaoh says to Joseph, "I hereby put you in charge of the whole land of Egypt." At that moment, Joseph's life was completely transformed. He went from being imprisoned to being in charge of an entire nation. The same God who took Joseph from the pit to the palace is actively working in your life right now, turning every hardship into a divine setup for your future. Trust in that truth. So, how do we navigate through these difficult seasons? The first step is to surrender to God's process. We need to trust that God sees what we cannot and knows what is best for our journey. Just as gold is purified through fire, we too must go through our own refining processes. Embrace these trials with the understanding that each one is a tool in God's hands, shaping us into the person we are meant to be. Next, worship in the midst of your pain. It's easy to praise God when life is going well, but the worship that rises from a place of brokenness is among the most powerful declarations of faith you can make. When you lift your voice in worship in the valley, it becomes an offering that echoes louder than any mountaintop praise. It's in those moments, when everything seems dark and uncertain, that your faith shines brightest. Lastly, be patient with yourself during this process. God is not only concerned with relieving your pain, He is using it to reveal your true strength, to develop your character, and to position you for greatness. Trust that what God removes from your life, He is replacing with something far better. The pruning might be painful, but the fruit it produces will be more than worth the tears. God's refining fire is not meant to destroy you, but to make you shine. Your season of brokenness is not a detour from your journey, it is a vital part of it. God is not focused on making your life easy. He is focused on making you whole. He is not just preparing blessings for you, He is preparing you for those blessings. Your current struggles are shaping you for the extraordinary things He has in store for you. Remember, your season of brokenness is not the end. It is the beginning of something incredible. Don't let the pain of today blind you to the promise of tomorrow. Hold on to hope. Cling to your faith. Know that God is with you every step of the way, and your breakthrough is closer than you realize. Keep pressing forward because your story is not finished yet. God is still writing it, and the best chapters are yet to come. Thank you for taking this journey with me, my friend. If you found value in this message, please share it with others who may need encouragement, and subscribe to stay connected on your own growth journey. If you're looking for more inspiration, check out one of the videos displayed on your screen that resonates with you the most. I'll see you there.